It is the course of wisdom to set aside an ample portion of our natural resources as national parks and reserves, thus ensuring that future generations may know the majesty of the earth as we know it today. President John F. Kennedy, 1962.
Preserving parks today while creating park stewards for tomorrow is at the heart of National Park Trust's mission. Our nation's parks are available to everyone and protect the majesty of our country.
They remind us of the nation we were, the nation we are, and the nation we should aspire to be.
Over the past 35 years, MPT has completed more than 60 land projects benefiting 43 national parks in 29 states, Washington, D.C., and the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Our projects range from the historic purchase of 11,000 acres of original Great Plains for the establishment of the vast and expansive Tallgrass Prairie National Preserve in Kansas,
to the preservation of the westernmost battlefield in the Civil War at Glorieta Pass in Pecos National Historical Park, New Mexico.
From our recent work purchasing 12 acres within Colorado's Rocky Mountain National Park, where Long's Peak looks down on alpine slopes and grassy valleys, to the expansion of the Appalachian Trail in Maine by acquiring 1,500 acres of 150-year-old spruce hardwood forest.
From the protection of the pristine waters of Olympic National Park at Lake Quinault in Washington, to the preservation of hallowed ground at Washita Battlefield National Historic Site in Oklahoma, the scene of an attack on a Cheyenne village by Custer's 7th Cavalry,
and the protection of the last private acreage within Lake Meredith National Recreation Area in Texas,
where Native Americans lived and quarried flint for 13,000 years.
Our land acquisition efforts will benefit national park units in all 7 geographic regions of the National Park Service as we focus on 100 high-priority parcels located within and adjacent to our national park boundaries in continued celebration of the 2016 National Park Service Centennial.
Although founded 35 years ago as a land trust focused solely on parkland acquisition, for the past decade, MPT has embraced a more comprehensive mission to ensure that future generations will enjoy, value, and protect our parks, public lands, and waters. To inspire youth from all walks of life to love parks and the great outdoors, NPT created our Buddy Bison School program in 2009, which currently supports 65 Title I schools in 17 states and Washington, D.C. The goals of the program are to enhance STEM and history curricula using parks as outdoor classrooms, promote health and wellness through outdoor recreation, and cultivate future stewards of our parks and public lands. In 9 years, this program has engaged more than 60,000 students with the great outdoors.
Furthermore, since 2011, NPT has organized Kids to Parks Day, a national grassroots movement that promotes outdoor park play and is hosted annually on the 3rd Saturday of May. This year, over 1 million kids and families participated, taking advantage of more than 1,200 park events and programs in every state in Washington, D.C.
You can learn more about animals, plants. You can enjoy all the wildlife around here.
A Senate resolution was passed, and over 430 cities and towns claimed the day.
In addition, 5,100 students representing 92 Title I schools in 35 states and Washington, D.C. received park grants as winners of our Kids to Parks Day National School Contest.
"18 years ago, NPT established the Bruce F. Vento Public Service Award to honor the memory and legacy of Bruce Vento, a 12-term congressman from Minnesota. A former science teacher, Bruce was the chair of the Natural Resources Subcommittee on National Parks, Forests, and Public Lands. As the committee chair, Bruce was responsible for the passage of more park legislation than any previous chair. Each year, The award recognizes elected officials who have demonstrated a lifelong passion and commitment to protect America's heritage.
This year, we are honored to recognize Senator Martin Heinrich of New Mexico. Senator Heinrich serves on the Senate Committee on Energy and Natural Resources and the Subcommittee on National Parks. He also serves on the Senate Committee on Armed Services, the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, and the U.S. Congress Joint Economic Committee.
Senator Heinrich has championed the creation of 2 treasured national monuments in New Mexico, the Rio Grande del Norte and the Oregon Mountains Desert Peaks National Monument. He has helped to create the 45,000-acre Columbine Hondo Wilderness Area and worked to protect the natural and cultural resources of the Valles Caldera National Preserve while ensuring that new management will increase access for hunting and fishing. He was instrumental in opening up the Sabinoso Wilderness to the public, which was the only legally inaccessible wilderness area in the country. And he worked to have legislation signed into law to establish the Manhattan Project National Historical Park after more than a decade of support from the local community.
In May 2018, the senator introduced legislation to designate White Sands National Monument as a national park. Recognizing the importance of encouraging kids to experience the great outdoors, in 2016, Senator Heinrich joined Fish and Wildlife Service Director Dan Ash to announce a $1 million per year appropriation to engage urban communities and youth in outdoor education.
In 2017, through bipartisan efforts, Senator Heinrich introduced the Every Kid Outdoors Act to provide all 4th graders nationwide free entrance to federally managed land, waters, and historic sites, including national parks. And once again, he co-sponsored the 2018 National Kids to Parks Day Senate resolution.
Our national assets belong to all of us. Children who are born in the East will grow up in the West, and the West will grow up in the East. And we will find, by concentrating our energies on our national resources, on conserving them, but not merely conserving and saving them, but by developing and improving them, the United States will be richer and stronger. We can fulfill our responsibilities to ourselves and those who depend upon us.
Thank you, Senator Heinrich, for your extraordinary leadership to protect our nation's parks, public lands, and waters today, while inspiring our youth to follow your lead by preserving what we have inherited for tomorrow.